Hello and welcome to Half Hour Power Hour. Today is Thursday, August 26th, I believe. Holy cow, the time is going by so fast. Thank you so much for everybody. I know some people are just starting to join, and I just want to welcome you to Half Hour Power Hour. And this is our summer series, and we are going to be talking about moving do's and don'ts. So whether you're buying a house or not, or moving to an apartment or moving to a rental, doesn't matter if you're buying or selling, everybody at some point is going to be moving. And moving, there are so many challenges to moving, but I make it super exciting because I sell real estate. So I just wanted to welcome you, Half Hour Power Hour. We are live here in Rockland, California. And this is, we're just going to be ending our summer series very shortly, and then we're going to be moving into our fall series, which I'm really excited about because we're going to be inviting people to talk about homeowners insurance. Yes, that is going up because unfortunately we are surrounded by fire. So there's some really good topics of discussion that we're going to be bringing up in the near future. And then if you have a topic that you would like to know about, please let me know, and I would be honored to get some feedback, what you'd like to see talked about, and if you have any guests that you would like me to be to invite on, I would love to do that. You can actually follow me as well regarding the real estate market on Instagram Live. Hi, Elena. Instagram, you can follow me on Facebook, and I'm also on YouTube. So any of these Half Hour Power Hour shows, you can actually even go back and look at some of the series on YouTube. So now we're putting them back on YouTube. And we actually have a couple of COVID things that happened last year, just to kind of make it fun and a spin. So there's like a COVID channel in there as well, just to kind of bring some humor to our life and our world. So let's get into this moving. And I actually reached out to people that I've known who recently moved, and it is so necessary to prepare. There's so much excitement, of course, at finding the place that you're going to go. When are you going to get your keys? And then you look around and you're like, oh my gosh, and it could be very, very overwhelming. I don't care what age you are, it can be very overwhelming. So in the chat box here, feel free to send in any of your questions. I'm going to be looking at them and do everything that I possibly can to answer your questions on moving do's and don'ts, and are you prepared? So for any of you who might know friends or family who are thinking of moving, please have them come and join Half Hour Power Hour. So the first one is actually, there's this amazing website, and it's going to come up, and it's your checklist. Because we think we know what we think we need to do. Because when you think about, okay, I'm going to move, what's the first thought? Boxes and tape and a black Sharpie, right? There is so much more to think about than just that. Yes, those are very important things, and you do know that things also get very, very expensive as well. So not only do we have that checklist, you have enough blankets. Those are very expensive too. I know that I have a ton of them, and some of my clients might borrow them, or family or friends, for their move, and so they keep being recycled and reused. And so if anybody needs some blankets, I'm more than happy to provide that for you. But this checklist that's just on the internet right here, I just encourage you, start there. Because from there, it's going to bring you down to, oh, and it's so funny, Mark, because we are putting up your website as well, because we called Auburn Moving and Storage today. So let's give an example. Okay, so you guys, I appreciate, Mark, you looking. And Michelle, if you can put the Auburn Moving and Storage website on there as well, because they were actually even called today. And I've been using Auburn Moving and Storage, oh my gosh, for years. I think like 15 years. So A, your checklist. B, this is, if you're single, then grab some friends to help you with the move. If you have a family, give everybody a responsible part. And if it's just, hey, we need to pack 3 boxes a day until the big move-in date, do that. Separate things out. But my recommendation first is to actually purge. If you have the time, definitely purge your stuff. If you haven't used it in 6 months or a year, you don't need it anymore. And the other thing is have a garage sale. People, you can do that now. I just had a garage sale a few weeks ago and it was crazy and I made some really good money. And you want that money for moving or when you go to buy all the new accessories for your new place. So let's talk about, because everybody knows in real estate, the market is hot, 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 and people are moving. So are you moving locally? Are you moving away? So this is where you have to do your homework, please. So first of all, if you are moving out of state, that's a whole different ball game. And Mark, feel free if you want to add anything about Auburn moving and storage. I'm using you locally for a moment, but let's say you go to U-Haul and you're moving out of state, or let me double check. Sorry, let me look at one thing. So let's say there's so many people here because moving costs are very expensive that they do move themselves. And actually, I moved myself. I was here to San Diego and then back and then had to move a couple of places. But what I did is I rented a U-Haul truck. And do you know the 26-foot truck? They don't have those in inventory locally right now. And I'm just talking today. So if I was planning, I think, I'm going to move in 2 weeks. I'll just call U-Haul over the weekend and I'm going to have a truck. That is so not the case. They do not have right now 26-foot trucks. And a friend of mine, who's an avid listener, Petey, thank you, Petey, they actually went to U-Haul to pick up their truck and their truck never existed on the lot. So the next person in line was 12 o'clock and they gave away to my girlfriend, Petey, the next person who was coming at noon, their truck. And it's not necessarily the fault of U-Haul, it's the fault of maybe people just not getting the trucks back. And we're having a huge inventory problem because so many people are moving out of state. And if you're moving, don't forget to call me. So here's what's happening. They're moving out of state, and because you're moving out of state, it's going to cost you way more money because all the trucks are leaving California and they're not coming back. Because how many of you know people who have left out California and they're coming back? I think there might be a few, but very few. So here's an example, and we're going to use U-Haul first. First of all, they don't have 26-foot trucks right now. And if they cannot guarantee when a truck will be available, and if you need a truck, a 26-foot truck, there might be one possibly in September, but that's kind of hard to say. All right, well, that's middle of September, and that's a maybe. So you cannot figure out you're moving because everybody's on deadlines on maybe. So you got to do your due diligence, make phone calls, U-Haul Trucking, Auburn Moving and Storage. For example, if you're going to move to Texas and you're going to go rent a truck at U-Haul, okay, you are renting the truck. U-Haul is not moving you, you're going to rent the truck. The cost for one way is just over $5,000. Okay, $5,000. You don't even have the movers. You're just borrowing the truck. What's it going to cost to have movers? The other thing too regarding U-Haul is what I found as a good resource for me personally is I actually, I didn't do a very good job with the truck situation. But anyway, long story short, I had a truck and I hired 2 movers. And I got their recommendations through U-Haul. So U-Haul, Auburn Moving and Storage, Phrase Moving Company, those are the ones that I've been using. And Mark's been amazing at Auburn Moving and Storage. And he's actually moved my clients here from California up to Oregon, down to Dallas, Texas. So they will come to you and they will actually give you an estimate of what it costs. And honestly, you guys, it's so important that you're realistic on, I just have 4 bedrooms and there's not much in there. You'll be surprised at really how much there is in there. Because when you go to have that moving day, you want to make sure you do have that truck. That's the right size. I did not. I was in tears and I had to go get another truck 4 minutes before U-Haul closed. And I had to hire a driver. It was nuts. So don't do those things to yourself. The other thing is, so do your due diligence. And oh, Petey, thank you. Oh, see, Petey, she moved locally, use Auburn Moving Company, and you guys just again do your homework and get your bids. So the other thing is, I'm cracking up because my niece, she just moved. So I'm going to give you guys examples, and feel free to share any of your horror stories, any of your great stories, because I want this to be a value to people who are getting ready to move out of their place. And when you move, for the next person, remember this: your house is supposed to be completely empty. Even that garage, which is very hard to tackle, or your kitchen. Everything must be empty. Unless you said, I'm buying the furniture or the washer and dryer, that's a whole different story. But everything must be empty. Even the pencil that acts and the sock that was left behind the washer and dryer at one point. And I'm going to tell you, my niece Lindsay and my nephew Andrew had a horrible experience when they bought their second home, and the seller left junk, garbage, furnishings, refrigerator stuff with stuff. So that seller, even though they had a long escrow and seller in possession, that seller did not do their due diligence to prepare in advance or communicate that they might need some help to the realtor and how can we get that person help. Because you guys, we're resources. If you're overwhelmed and you're like, oh my gosh, we have these deadlines, what do I do? We are your resource. Go to your realtor for help, because my niece and nephew should never have walked into that situation. And their realtor was in Ohio, kick butt realtor. He was amazing. And he didn't say, oh, this is your problem. He's like, this is our problem. We're going to get it done. And remember, my niece and nephew just had niece and her husband, who I call my nephew too, Andrew. They just had a baby. So imagine having to do that. All right. So let's go back to Auburn Moving Company, because their trucks go out to a 700-mile radius locally. Otherwise, I think, Mark, you guys, I think, have a relationship like with Beacons and those huge, huge trucks that can carry you across the state. Oh yeah, they're with Beacons, and right now they're about 2 months in advance. So super, super important. Get that done ASAP. Oh, okay. Thanks, Michelle. So for those Ohio listeners, I so appreciate you listening, and they are having a thunderstorm. Well, as you can tell here, that's not happening in California. We're at 86 degrees. I may just have to go lay by the pool after this, because I did pack my swimsuit when I moved. All right, so definitely packing early. Use the sites that are provided, and if you want to use, if you're looking at some cost-effective items, always look at Amazon, because they have labels, they have pens, they have tape. And everybody in the household have tape, have scissors. Give everybody, assign a job. The other thing I really want to talk to you about are your pets, your furry friends. So I'm hoping that I didn't freeze. If I froze, can somebody say it? I think maybe, Michelle, it was you, only because of, I think I'm good. Anyway, sorry you guys. So the, oh, your pets. All right. Moving is tough enough. You should probably have counseling anyway before you move, just to see how you're going to do approaching that crazy day. I'm kidding, because you want to keep a good mood. So your pets. What do you do with your pets? And PD, I would love to know, if you're still watching, what did you end up doing with Chelsea and Thor? And that would be awesome. Would love to hear what you did with them. Here's the thing. You can send them over to family, to friends. You can put them at a day spa. What pet does not want a day spa while you are crazy moving? That would be great to and then be very careful. There's also websites out there on what to do when you how to move your pet, because that's a whole different environment for them. And if you can, and I know this is what we did when we built this house, we, as the house was being built, we brought our dog here. So our dog for months got super familiar with us as a family going to the new house. So by the time we got into the new house, our dog was fine. It was, and then our stuff was here. So our dog was really good about, the change. And so she did really, really good. Cats. Here's the thing about cats, and talk to your vet. Cats are a little bit more traumatic with a move. And then when you move them to the new house, and let's say you're not replacing the carpet, or you're even moving to an apartment and the apartment complex just put a new carpet, they tend to go in a corner and urinate in a corner because they're marking their spot. So there's definitely ways to avoid things. And I know if you put foil in the corners, that's also a helpful hint, because pets do not like foil, cats. And or you can keep them maybe in the laundry room overnight, have everything there, just let them be at peace, have them in, feed them through the laundry room, have their litter box in, and maybe gradually open up the house to them, because then cats, they pretty much want to be left alone anyway, and they don't like moving. If you're moving long distance with a house, oh, and Petey, thank you, she's left the dogs okay, good. Okay, so Petey, because the people that were buying the Mazzoni's house, there was some time in between. So Petey, they left their dogs in their house while moving, and they probably had them maybe in the office. Because if you have people moving in and out with your doors open, your dogs are going to go crazy. So it's good to maybe just keep them in an area. And I know Petey at night, her dogs are so good. They even go in their kennel, they go to bed earlier and go, okay, I have to get into the kennel. So that's maybe an idea too. You keep them in the kennel where they feel safe and secure while movers are going in and out. But back to the cats, talk to your vet, because if you actually are moving your cat across the state or out of state, and I just had clients in January, they moved from Whitney Oaks to Texas. I'd be interested to know what they did. And then when I moved down south, my vet recommended just like a calmness that I gave my cat to calm her in the car. And it was a 9-hour drive, and she did perfect. And I had everything set up for her, and she just did amazing. It wasn't like a drug that put her to sleep. It was something that just kept her calm. So during a 9-hour drive, the last thing you want is your cat to be meowing at you the entire time. Dogs are easier. They love being in the car, blowing their hair, blowing in the wind, stopping at the rest area and going out and doing their thing. So I think the other thing to prepare for is the internet. Then, so who are you guys going to use? Can you use the same provider as you are using for the home that you have now? What about your phone number? Can you change your home phone number? A lot of people still have landlines. Yes, they do. And move that one over. What about your security system? Do you have a security system in your existing place and you need to move it over to your new place, or even get a new security system? Again, that is the checklist that is provided to you on this website right here. The second thing, or one of the many, many things that is really, really important, and if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Feel free, is the forwarding your mail. So here's the deal. Every area seems to be different. And if you guys really know the right answer, I would love to hear the right answer. I have been told that we are actually supposed to hand in our post office box keys to the post office and say, we're done, we're out, we've moved. And then the new people are supposed to get their new key. So I guess there's a change of the key, which makes sense, because if the previous owner had your key, they can actually even get into your mailbox. Yes, that's a federal offense, and yeah, they can go to jail. So, but that's what I've heard, that's what I know. As a realtor, I've seen it happen many, many ways, and a lot of times the seller will leave the key for the next owner. So then there's nothing they have to do at the post office. But what you can do online is your forwarding address. And I am telling you, oh, and there's one hint I have to talk to you about a U-Haul truck as well. That just came in my head. What I want to tell you is, and you guys, I so appreciate you coming in, and there's just so much that I'm just kind of spewing out right now about the moving do's and don'ts in preparation. But I just lost my train of thought of the U-Haul truck, the moving, the packing, I forget. Anyway, what was I going to say? Anybody can help me what I was talking about? We were talking about the pets. We were talking about the furry friends. The other thing that I wanted to mention is, because this just popped in my head as well, is if you are renting a truck. Moving forwarded addresses. Thank you, Michelle. How did I forget that? So if you go to the UPS or United States Post Office website, and that's going to be also on here. A forwarding address could be 3 months, 6 months, and it's super cheap if you want to extend it. Continue to extend it. Extend it for at least a year because you want to make sure your tax documents are getting to you on time, maybe your supplemental tax document. You want to make sure that your grant deed is being sent to you. So yes, you can extend your forwarding address. And make sure, and I know Petey's done a really good job with this, make sure that you have communication with A, the people that just bought your house, B, the person that you just bought your house, that your next house from. Because Amazon is still delivering to addresses, FedEx is still delivering. If they don't know, they're going to the old address, and this happens all the time. Also, which I think is super important, is in today's world, seller has possession after close of escrow. This is happening all the time. So don't be necessarily ready to do your forwarding address until you actually move there or about a week from moving there. Or if you do, then tell the next person, the person that you're moving to, that you're forwarding your mail. There is just a logical sequence in this, and just make sure, because mail is getting lost, Amazon's getting to a different address than they should be. So make sure you do your due diligence and go online, update all of your shipping places. If you're going to Costco and you have them delivered to your door, did you change to your new address, or are they going to your old place for the people who bought your house? And they're like, oh my God, look at all this new toilet paper and paper towels. The other thing is, I'm going to go back to U-Haul. Okay, this is crazy. Okay, I need you to listen. Very, very, very important. And this is just from my personal experience. Make sure if you are getting a U-Haul truck and renting a truck, whether it's U-Haul or a different company, and you are responsible as either the driver or you're going to have a different driver, get insurance and get the best insurance. I am telling you, I cannot reiterate that to you. Moving is expensive. Yes, it is. But get the $120, $150 insurance. See, Petey was there witnessing what happened to me. So I'm going to tell you my personal experience. My assistant, Michelle, she was getting me insurance. And there's two types. There's the basic, and then there's the amazing. But it was like a $75 difference, maybe $100. And we kept going back and forth, back and forth. And I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore. Just get the best insurance. If it's $120, $150, I can't deal with this anymore. So Michelle just got the best insurance for me. Thank you, Michelle. Because I literally was in an accident within a mile of me leaving the U-Haul. And, well, kind of two accidents, really. And Petey was behind me and saw one complete accident. Two people. So obviously I'm not a truck driver, okay? And so So thank you, Michelle. It's worth it. Just get the best. I felt so terrible with the person that I totally hit their car. It was terrible. It was terrible. And I made one phone call and then I never heard back because U-Haul took care of it. So I want to reiterate, definitely get the best insurance. All right, so let's just kind of summarize a couple of things for the moving's do's and don'ts and preparation. And as soon as you know that move date, A, call a moving company, start getting bids out, and you need to get that stuff reserved ASAP. B, get on this checklist. It's on the side here. Just put your address in, your email address, and it's going to tell you all the different things that you need to do in advance. And you know what, even for pets, like if people that are moving to Hawaii, there's so many things that you have to do to get your pet to Hawaii. So things on there that you don't even know that you think, oh, I've got this down, and you don't. So that's why get on that site that Michelle has on here. It's the most epic moving checklist, and it has to do with today. The other thing is start purging. Have your kids start purging. If you guys haven't used it, old clothes, whatever, because you can't necessarily give to the Goodwill like we used to. And some of them have been closed, so that's a whole other different thing. Some of them won't even American Heart Association? Salvation Army, they're super particular of what they're going to come and get, because it better be a very, very nice bed, not one you've had for years, if they're going to come and get it. So those are things you really have to do your due diligence on, because people are not going to take everything. So then do the garage sale. You can do that now. Make some money. Do the garage sale, and if you can't sell it, do not bring it back into the house. Make that promise to me. Do not bring it back into the house. What you do is you pack it and you bring it to Goodwill, or you bring it to a neighbor, but do not. It does not go in the house, because it's not going to go in your new house. Because if you were going to put it in the garage sale, it does not deserve that new house or that new apartment. And then purge, and then everybody just do, depending on how much time you have, do 3 to 4 boxes a day minimum, each person in the house. Make sure your pets are all going to be taken care of. Make sure you have blankets, boxes, and you guys can get a lot of this stuff for free. So if you go into different websites, for example, you can go into Facebook and ask, hey, who has moving boxes? Nextdoor, that's like the best place to go for moving boxes, because so many people in the area, they're moving and then they don't know what they want to do with their moving boxes, and you can get their moving boxes and then you pay it forward. But I do recommend you guys just smash down the moving boxes, and then if you know of anybody that's moving, save your Amazon boxes. My gosh, for a year doing stuff to my house, Amazon was coming to my house every day. So I saved those boxes for my girlfriend Petey, and then you can pay it forward for that. Anyway, you guys, I so appreciate you hanging in, and I know I was just talking all about the moving's do's and don'ts. Be prepared, prepare. And if you are selling your home and you have a buyer coming in, you get rid of everything. Do not leave anything. It is your responsibility. It's not your realtor's responsibility. It is your responsibility. And I also recommend have your house professionally cleaned for the next person who's coming in who bought your home. Or even if you're a tenant and you're moving out, call Petey Mazzoni. No, I'm kidding. She totally helped my son and her son clean the house. Anyway, have that clean for the next person. It's all about paying forward. And that just reminds me to tell you, be kind to somebody today, because you can make a difference in someone's life. And I really hope that I can make a difference in your life. So I appreciate you joining Half Hour Power Hour, today's moving do's and don'ts, and are you prepared for your next move? And also, I just appreciate you joining the summer series. And if you have any ideas of who you'd like to see join Half Hour Power Hour, any topic of conversation, please send them over to me. And then also, we are going to be changing the Half Hour Power Hour name. Yes. So if you have any suggestions on what you think half hour power hour the name should be changed to, it's once a week on Thursdays, live from 1 to 3. Let me know. I would appreciate that feedback. And again, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you're looking to buy or sell, or just need a market analysis, or need advice, I would love to help you, and I would be honored. And if you have anybody you can refer me to, again, that would also be, I'd be humbled, and that would be an honor. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining Half Hour Power Hour. Again, your smile can make a difference in somebody else's heart. And really, when you smile at somebody, it can make a difference in your own heart. You just never know what somebody is going through today. So blessings sent over to you. Be kind, and thank you for your support. Bye-bye.